Everyone. Everyone is doing great. Hello, everybody. So sorry for being late. We had some technical issue today. So that's why we got late and we are starting late today as well. So today our panel discussion is on the it's a deaf panel discussion, but it's on the traveling deaf travelers. So we will be asking the experience of the deaf travelers. Like if you would like to go at any place, you might be thinking how you would be communicate with other people, how you would be traveling to the other people, whether it would be accessible or not, how a deaf person can travel to the another place. So this is a good platform for everybody to learn. You can ask the query to the presenters and the panelist also at the end. So I hope that you will learn a lot from the presenters, and that's how you will get the help also while you will be planning your trip. So we have the Indian Sign Language interpreters too who are voicing. I hope you can hear their voice as well, right? If you can't hear, you can let me know if you're facing any challenge. So now I would like to invite Archana. Hello. Hi, Archana. Just give me a second. Okay, great. Namaste. Can you introduce yourself, Archana? Yeah. So my name is Archana, Archana. This is my sign name. I'm from Bangalore. Okay, great. I think everybody knows her, right? She is a bike rider and she went to Leh and then came back. So waving hands for her. The first deaf woman who did this. Thank you. So I have few questions I would like to ask you. Yeah, sure. You can go ahead. Can you just let me know if my signing space is good? Yes, I can see you clearly. Can you see me clearly? Yes, I can. Deepak here. So now we are focusing on the deaf travelers. So whether they are moving to the in India or traveling to the foreign countries. So what is the, how did you decide to, why do you have more passion for riding a bike to travel rather than traveling by other modes of transportation? Yeah, so in 2004, I used to go by flight and all. I had the experience, but when I saw that there are women who were riding a bike, I saw that I was also interested in that. I would like to go ahead with it, but I was not aware how to ride the bike at that time. I was zero. So in 2004, you are talking about that time? Yes, in 2004. So I saw my friends how they were riding the bike. I saw that yeah, women can also ride the bike. So I asked a hearing person that how I can learn to ride the bike, and I would like to practice. I told my friend. So I asked my friend if I can ride the bike. I would like to learn it. I would like to practice as well. So my friend told me that yeah, he will help me out, and that makes me excited. And also, I was not aiming for that, but yeah, I just wanted to learn and give it a try. So I thought that how I can make it as in women empowerment and show to the other people as well. So I have an experience I mean going by flight, but I don't know, whenever we are going to any other places, we have to pay for the other travel transportation modes, right? So it extends your time as well. So if you are riding your bike, you can take a pause, you can stop at any place, and you can also experience the beauty of the nature, right? Yes, so you mean that you can stop at any place, right, at your own choice? Yes, but in flight you won't be able to, correct? You,
Yeah.
just uh, get down from the flight, yes, in the way. That's good. That yeah, I hope that you will be doing it further as well. Yes, so I have been riding a bike from 2018, so it's been 8 years. But my aim, I doesn't have any specific goal, but In 2007, I started with the team, and my friends, they introduced me with the team, the bikers, and then I understood that I would like to go ahead with it. So earlier, I didn't have my own bike. I took it on rent, and I tried to connect with the team members, and then that makes me so excited. But I was scared too at that time. So I was, why were you scared? But that was the first time on the national highway I was riding a bike. Okay. So that was the first time for me, and I was not aware. That makes me scared at that time. So my friends told me that, yeah, you can go and just drive slowly, and that's how I felt confident later on. Okay. So I would like to ask you a second questions. So as you ride a bike, so what, as you see yourself, like Deepak being a man and Archana being a woman, do you think that there was a challenges you faced being a deaf woman? Archana here, yes, I do face a, being a deaf woman traveler, I do face the challenges. So the language thing is difficult for me. See, the language communication part is for us also is a challenge. So being a deaf woman traveler, what do you challenges you face? Okay, so for example, if I'm going to any tea stall, so they are looking me and they are just staring at me. So likewise, I mean, they were so shocked, and they were confused that a woman is riding a bike and also a deaf woman, and they were laughing at me, they were mocking at me, because when I was trying to talk to them, so I would text on, I type it out the things, and that text to speech, that on that text to speech thing, they were laughing at me, and they were also staring at me, and they were thinking that whether I would be able to do it or not. But I kept myself strong at that time. But yeah, traveling is not easy, it's very tough.
Why not easy?
Access, so in the evening time it's not easy. For example, in the morning, if around 7 a.m. I'm riding a bike and I need to reach the Bangalore at the time, so in the traffic, if it's raining, so we get sometime late as well. So we need to think that positively, that yeah, we can make it. Sometimes it's in the dark, you don't have any lights on the streets, so these such fears we do face. So we need to control our thoughts as well. We need to have the protection also. So I had a pepper spray as well. And the another thing, the shocking, the taser. I have a taser as well also. With the taser, a person can get fainted and can be fainted for, can be in an unconscious mind for an hour. So that is the thing which protected me also. For example, if I am traveling alone, so
Self-defense, yes.
Self-defense, for self-defense you need to have these things so that you can be protected. If you would not be having any such things, then you would not be able to communicate, and also you would not be able to explain your things. So the self-defense is a more important thing for a deaf woman traveler. So if you are riding at the night, you think that this is not safe. Yes, on the streets we don't have the street lights, and you think that it's that you might get kidnapped or raped. Yes. So if you think that there are people on the roads moving here and there, then you can ride your bike. Otherwise, if you see that no one is moving on that road, then it would be better not to take that road and go to the another one. So you need to check whether, if you're seeing that there is no car and bike moving on that particular road. So if someone snatch your bike, what would you do that in that situation? So yeah, if there would be other people, then you might have a support system as well. Okay, I think something went wrong. Yeah. So for example, if I'm riding a bike, I want to pee, that I can get, I can do that, right? But if you want to go for a pee, whether it would be possible for a deaf woman traveler, yeah, if I would like to go, we need to control that also. If we are in the forest area, so we need to see if we can uh, find any way where we have trees and all, and I can find any of the way where I can do it. So I need to also see the place also, but at the unsafe places, no. The we for the deaf woman
So
traveler,
that's a challenge.
that's a challenge. Right, you overcome your challenges. That's a great thing. And uh,
In Leh.
in Leh, that was so cold, and there was a camps and all, and it was quite difficult to find the place. No street lights. How we will find the place? So I thought that, yeah, where I was, I parked my bike, I turned off the headlights, and then I be there only. So without any lights, people would not be able to see me. And if people are seeing, that doesn't matter. They just need to respect me if I'm being at any place, man or woman, that doesn't matter. It's our privacy, how we will, manage that thing. That's fine. Yeah, it's a big challenge. I know. I understood that thing. Yeah. Next question I would like to ask you here. So, you have a lot of experience being a bike rider. So, what's your next goal? What would you like to do in the future? So, it's been 18 years I've been riding a bike, and I have ride around 50,000 kilometers. So, from Bangalore to Leh, right? And also from north to south, then east. Oh,
You've
you
done Northeast also?
Yes. I think northeast, northeast. So in north, you went to Leh, right? And Gujarat is in the west. And then you went to the south also. So in northeast, no. I am planning to ride the bike towards the northeast, but I haven't done it. So in the future, I am thinking that about the women empowerment. If we can travel to the world, whether if we don't have a bike, whether we can travel to the through flight as well, through railway also, through the train. So the culture, we see that we do have a different cultures. We get the chance to meet with the deaf community along with the world, and we can ask them also how do they travel, right? And we the deaf Indian people, they can also travel, right? But across the world, when I see there are deaf people who are riding a bike also, but they are not showcasing it. For example, I can ride a bike from Bangalore to Delhi. So in Europe also, we see that they in people around the world, but that is some places they are not doing it because they are scared because they have responsibilities too of their parents. So yeah, that depends on their mindset also. So my goal is to travel across the world, and I'm hoping for that. So in the northeast and also across the world, you would like to travel, right? So on the bike also, or yes, through bike only, yes, maybe around the world, maybe that. I don't know that how much time it will take. You can decide yourself. Yes, do you think, how much years it will take? Maybe 5 years? No, 2 years. So it will require 650 days to travel. Oh yeah, 365 days. So if we make it double, 650. So it's 2,10,000 kilometer. So okay, if we, sorry, 1,20,000 kilometers. So okay, so in India it was 50,000 around. So if we want to visit the other countries, there are continents, seven continents, and
Yeah, like Asia, Europe, North America, South America, Antarctica, I mean the poles. Can we also bike there?
yes, but there is a one thing. The main goal is in Antarctica. That is very difficult. It's so cold, but I still want to do it and achieve that goal. I will still try my best. I'm hoping that, yeah, you will do the best in the future. Thank you so much. Thank you for answering all the questions. Thank you, Archana. Now we would be having Rahul. How can I log out? You just be there. Yeah. Can we have Rahul now?
Hi. Hello. So we had a session with Archana. Now it is turn for Rahul. Can you please introduce yourself for the audience? Hi everyone, this is my sign name. I am Rahul. I am in Hyderabad, work with the Uniki company. Great. So my question to you is going to be that you have been, traveled around the world, which is really great. But how do you communicate with new people as a foreigner? So when you're, either ways, if you're an Indian, if there's a foreigner coming in, there'll be a kind of uh, difference. Similarly, when you become a foreigner, how do you communicate with new people? What are the important ways to communicate with foreign people? All right, that's great. So I have been to US, to the UK, to international events where deaf people come together. But they were, mostly uh, communicating in American Sign Language. So I think that it's very important to learn ASL. And when you get to a place, you will see that you pick up the familiar common words, and it takes about a week or so to start, getting the local language or the lingo they're using in sign language. But then when it comes to academic discussions and stuff like that, so that is not the conversations, right? These are the general conversations. So if you learn ASL, I think it will really help in foreign or communicating with people outside the world. Now, the second thing is that when I went to Gallaudet University in USA, there was an interpreter. Uh, oh, sorry, Dr. Madan, Dr. Madan Vashisht. He was interpreting for me. So a deaf interpreter, right? Yes, a DI. So he was my deaf guide around the campus. He took me to Gallaudet University, gave me a tour. So there was another person also, and Dr. Madan was very surprised that I was understanding the other deaf guide who was with us to the tour in the Gallaudet. So I told him that I have been practicing my ASL, and I thought that it's important. But there they said that it's mostly ASL. Because you are in US, you would respect their language choice and use ASL. And similarly, when they come to India, we, to communicate with them, we sometimes code switch to ASL, but I think we should be proud of our language and use ASL with them. All right, so as you said that it takes about a week to, pick up the local language. Have you been to other places also that's easy to communicate? Yes, I think it's really easy. I'll give you an example. I already told you about my US experience. I went to Australia. I had no problems. It takes a little bit of time. It's called code switching, just takes a little bit time. You pick up the language, the general language communication, which is, it doesn't happen, uh, as soon as you reach there. It takes a few days. There are some words, they will spell it out for you. They'll support you. You pick up the general or the most used conversations, and after that, it helps. But I would also say that people in Australia or people in UK using DSL, there is overlap even in France of international sign, some specific signs. So it's maybe just in the US, it's very strong. There is no mixing of IS in ASL, but other places, yes. So yes, we understand how international sign has been, other languages are borrowing from IS, and once you learn that, it's easy to communicate. Similarly, in India, there's a common communicate like the bathroom sign or the food sign. How are this in foreign places? I think it's very hard. You have to use gestures, expressions, but writing helps. You can write and show the person, they will direct you. And this is one common way, but gestures is difficult. I write in English, yes. Gestures becomes hard if you think that. I think Indians are way better, but in international areas, just gestures don't work. So as you said that, you have to observe the communication between the local people, and within some time you pick it up. And the second thing is writing. So that's great. We got the answer to your question, ways to communicate. All right. So the second question to you is that how do you were married, right? You have a baby as well. So how do you manage your family time in order to be able to travel? How are you managing your time between family and as well as making time to travel? How do you do it? How do you think it's possible? How is it possible? All right, that's a great question. After my marriage, we traveled together actually to US and other places also. So I have been invited also to various conferences, to camps, to presentations. There were some boards which I have also been involved with. So you have to have a clear communication with them, and if you tell them in advance and let them know, and it's not that my family is alone. They're flexible, and I'm also able to manage the time. But it's important that you plan ahead and ensure that relatives' place or her mother's place or family members are there. Okay, I understand. So when you got married and you have a baby, but you got travel plans, but as being newly married, how did you manage that? So yes, I would agree that there was a feeling my wife did. I observed that I was going alone to various places. So we went to Paris, then we went to London together, and we started traveling to US, and a few times, 3, 4 times we went to travel at international destinations. But also it was more professional, my work related meetings which I had, like conferences, or presentations, etc. But if there were more social events, I would invite her, and that I would have to balance between my work and my family. But when there were conferences and presentations which were my work related, that were not exactly her interest areas. But when there were social events, so I was going out to tour or exploring, then yeah. So we have to manage. Yeah, that's great. The third question to you is that you have traveled the world. Is it easy to obtain a visa to travel to other countries? Are you denied visas, sometimes rejections, or the process confusing? What are the requirements to obtain a visa? how do you think you can, let us know? Easy to obtain visa to travel other countries and the requirements to obtain a visa. All right, that's a good question. You all might be thinking that during the visa applications, you have a guide. You can get a person who, uh, will get your hotel, your flight, your consent, and all of this, if there's a person. For example, I'll give you a website. There's VFS Global. There's VFS Global, which is, I'm sorry, can you please type that name of the website for all the audience members? Sure, I can do that. Perfect. Thank you. Please continue, Rahul. Yeah, so VFS Global is a platform, which is actually a consultancy service, which is connected to the various embassies of different countries. So they are basically providing this service. If you get into their websites, you have to put in wherever you want to go. For example, want to go to US, they will tell you about the documents required, the fee, what are the different interviews you have to take, the documents like Aadhaar, the fingerprints, all the scanning, all the work is done by this service. And that helps you understand how to take your visa process further. And they are based out of a lot of capitals in the Indian cities. They give you a clear-cut estimation of how much time, how many documents, then you have to do your thumb and fingerprint scanning. Once that process is done, they will take your picture within a week or maybe 2-3 weeks. You get the visa. Sometimes you have to give your passport. Sometimes you don't need your passport. You can just take a print. The visa is sent on email and put it on your passport. So it takes maybe 2-3 weeks. They can post your visa, and there are only two possibilities. Your visa is either accepted or the visa is rejected. So the VFS Global, they don't take the interview themselves when they get the documents. If you're wanting to travel to America, they will connect with the embassy, American embassy, who take forward the monitoring and evaluation process. Then they let you know about the interview, and then you have to go for your interview with the American consulate. And once you get your visa, that's the process. Yeah. Oh, okay. So all countries have to have interviews? No, no, no. So US takes interviews. UK, again, there's sometimes there could be an interview, or sometimes there isn't. And Australia. These are the three places where there are interviews. And mostly, sometimes they just do your documents. They sometimes just call you for some questions. But as a deaf person, when you get voice calls, that could be challenging. But after that, if you receive the email where they're saying that I called you and you didn't pick up, and you have to inform them you are a deaf person, you do not prefer voice calls. So those questions can be sent on email, and you can answer those questions and you get your visa. All right, great, perfect. So because of the visa, if all the requirements are clear, if we go to VFS Global and the procedure is rejected, if my visa is rejected, what would be the reasons? Could they tell you? Yes, yes, they tell you the reason. For example, your hotel wasn't booked. Maybe you had a fake booking. Yeah, yeah, they tell you about the reasons why your visa is rejected, which is then you realize that yes, your booking was not clear. So it happened with a person, a friend of mine. His Paris visa was rejected because they didn't pay for the hotel. They had just reserved it. You have to make a confirmed booking with the hotel, and you have to get that document in your visa application. Yes, it's not just reserved, you have to pay, and that is proof that you have a hotel booking, and that's how you get your visa. Great, Rahul. So have you ever been rejected in a visa? Never, not in my travel history, because I've always followed the legal and the documentation process. But the thing is, if you have the invitation, if you have an invitation, it makes the work really easy. But when it's just for travel or just enjoyment, visa can be rejected. Oh, so yeah, Rahul, I'm sure you have been invited to so many different events. So yeah, it makes it easy. So are there different rates also, for example, student visa or maybe a travel visa? Can you just expand a little on that, please? Yeah, I sure can. Visa, there are four kinds. The first is a tourist visa, the second is a business visa, the third is a student visa, and the fourth is a work visa. These are the four kinds of visa, but it is not the same in every country. You say, are there some countries where they might have other kind of visas as well? Yes, yes, there is, different kinds of visas provided, but mostly they would have four, but there could be some other countries who would get more kinds of visas as well. But if you have invitations to a specific academic event, etc. But if you're touring, if you're going for travel, better choose the tourist visa. It's just a 30-day to 60-day visa, maybe 120 days max, just for tourists. Second is your business visa. So if you have an international event for your business, for example, you're working in a company, it's also there internationally. So it could be a 6-month visa, maybe a call for business. Third is a student visa. If, for example, you're wanting to study abroad, you get a student visa. That's a very different form of visa. And the fourth is a work visa. For example, it's called a work permit, actually. If, yeah, I'm just using the acronym WP. If you get a job, yeah. If you get, for example, if you have some relatives or friends, perhaps, and if they are somehow saying that there's a great guy who is very professional, has very skilled, they can, send us a job letter. And if I get selected, that job letter can be used. And if work permit is given for 2 years, it's a 2-year work visa where you can work for 2 years. After those 2 years, maybe, they would evaluate and decide to extend or maybe give you a permanent PR. PR is permanent residency. So just to clarify, that is not temporary. You would be allowed to stay, correct? PR is actually a 5-year limit. You're just allowed, no, it is not uh, citizenship. If 5 years you have been saying, then maybe they would give you the citizenship. So then you have to give away your Indian passport and then take the different passport of that country. So last question to you, Rahul. During your travel, as a deaf person, when you applied for your visa, were there any communication issues or even during the application time or the interview time, even in the airport when you have been communicating, yeah, they do that, they ask questions about the visa. So Deepak, I've heard deaf people facing issues. Rahul is saying that yes, it's important that in your visa, the duration of your travel is mentioned. And for example, it's, for example, 10 years or whatever that time is. During that time frame, you can travel to that country. For example, if, 20th December, and you want to travel on the, 21st or something, so do not get a visa on the 19th or the 20th. So they do ask you, where are you going? Yeah, they speak. Yes, I tell them that I'm deaf. They would write it and they ask you, why are you going to this place? So I would tell them that I have an invitation. I would show them the invitation. So that's, satisfactory and they accept it. So I then get the visa. So when I went to Australia also, during that procedure, they checked in the system and they knew that, uh, I was deaf. The fact is the COCR members had already sent the code of conduct as a deaf person, so the airport staff were aware, but that's not the case everywhere. Deepak says tourist for the tourist visa. Yes, so in Australia, the airport staff or the embassy staff, they would know, but in France, there are no people, they, make you wait, they would ask questions, they would tell you when is your return flight, give us the date. Yeah, so they are very doubtful whether you want to just escape and want to stay there or something like that. Yes, yeah, that's that. So with a tourist, if I don't have an invitation, how do I, how do I? So your package, you have to understand. if if you have some kind of a program, if you have a package deal, if you have booked a package, the company sends you the itinerary, 3 4 days. It's just a very short travel. You can do that because they would have the itinerary. But I'm not saying that I just want to travel alone. Yes, you can travel alone, but you give them your hotel booking, your return travel, and all your bookings and travel information should be clear. Now, if you don't have a return travel, you have a 5-day hotel booking, they would not accept it. And yeah, that's very easy, they will catch you and then your visa will be rejected. Thank you so much, Rahul. That was really informative. You explained everything very clearly. Now we will have our next deaf traveler and we'll welcome Renu.
Can we have Renu, please? Hi. Can you see me clearly? Yes. Perfect. Hello, Renu. Hello, Deepak. Can you introduce yourself? Yes, my sign name is this, and my name is Renu, Renu. So I born in Mumbai. Now I came here in Bangalore, and I'm staying along with my husband. So I'm working with Sign Medium as a business developer. So yeah, I sometimes work from home or sometimes from office. So if you can share your experience regarding the traveling. So I'll be asking you the question, okay? Yeah, sure. So you must be having a lot of experience in India, If you can share your top three favorite places in India and why these places are top favorite. I can't answer you the top three, but yeah, I can still answer. There are my favorite places. The first place is Goa. I really like visiting Goa. Why Goa? Because um, from my childhood in Bombay, I see in Mumbai that yeah, people they do not have a break and they, everyone is workaholic. So if you want to get if you want to get the rest, the beach area, I really like it. So I think I went to Goa multiple times. I think it's being 7 or 8 times. I get peace over there whenever I visit the Goa. So that is the topmost place for me. So I live in Mumbai from my childhood. So I live Mumbai also. I didn't travel much, but yeah, I like the food a lot. So yeah, the topmost place is Goa for me. Okay, understood. Great. So second question I would like to ask you, in your experience, what do you think whether it is good to travel alone or it is good to travel along with a group in terms of expenses? Do you think that when you travel alone, when then you have to pay less, or if you travel along with a team, uh, you have more of expenses? If you can share what it would be the better way. So if you are traveling alone, uh, I don't think that the solo trip would work. You don't share ideas or thoughts with other people. You are alone. If you have two people, if more than two people, that is good. The other people you can, connect with them also. Maybe in team member, you can have 5 or 10 people. So in that situation, you might have conflict. Yes, you might save the money as well, but sometimes it get delayed. So with other person, so you're saying that in the group you saves money, right? For example, if I want to go Masuri, I want to stay in hotel, so you can stay in hostel, right? We can stay over there as well. That is equivalent to stay like we are living in the hotel also. So if you are with the team, you can save money, and four people can stay in one room. So that hostel that cost you around 500 to 700 bucks. So yeah, if you compare both of the things in the with along with the other people also, you can save the money. But along with the team members, that you might have a conflict and people might not agree on the same terms. So some people, when they travel alone, they have a solo trip, do you think they have to spend a lot? Yeah, that's a good question. So there is a hearing woman. Her name is Jinal, and she had, traveled a lot. She had done a solo trip. I asked her, and she also share her experience. I can't answer on her behalf, but Jinal told me. I didn't able to talk to her for that, but she has traveled a lot, and she has done a solo trip. So but you have not done a solo trip, right? Yes, I have done along with my friend, one more friend, or maybe along with the team members, not the solo trip. So in your experience, you have been traveling to other most of the places, and when you see the food of that particular place, so how, sometimes you might feel the food is good. Whether do you think that is it easy to, have the food of the different culture? So for me, if I talk about myself, yeah, it's easy for me because earlier I had practiced, but I would like to practice. How have you practiced? So yeah, I would like to thank my deaf teacher. For example, uh, I'm from the community where we can share the food items with other people. But my teacher told me that my deaf teacher told me that it's not good to eat alone and not sharing your food with other people. My teacher told me that in future you might get stuck in this situation if you are not sharing your food with other people. So the next time, we I started eating other people's food as well, and I felt that yeah, that's fine. If the taste is different, it's still okay. So I was when studying in the 10th standard, I saw that I visiting the deaf cultural program as well. Whenever I thought that I can't eat at a stalls and all, and the other the stalls which are the outside place. So then I thought, yeah, I can eat there as well. So after having the experience from eating from the outside stalls and all, but yeah, it's still difficult for some people. So recently, when I went uh, to the foreign country, yeah, the taste was different. But at once I ate that, later on I didn't face any challenge in that. So yeah, for me it's good, but yeah, for other people it's more important. They need to practice on it. So for example, you have a great experience. If the other person, you think that they have to practice, so they need to practice on the daily basis, right? To try and taste another food. If you would like to travel, yes, you need to, try the another cuisines also. If you are not traveling to the other places, that's fine. So the people who are following the Jainism, they have the another way. They keep the noodles along with them and they eat that thing. But that might be boring for you also. For 10 days, if you are living at the other place, you can try to taste their cuisine. But yeah, you need to try that if you are fond of traveling. So, for example, if there is another person who might be allergic to some cuisines, do you think that person can still try and work on it? I think that would not be possible. That needs to they need to see what is the level of their allergetic level. Some people, they might be are more allergic to particular cuisines. For example, some people might, they can have chicken and meats and all. If some people, they can eat the fresh chicken and meat, and some people can't. So you need to see whether you are allergic to any particular cuisines or not. Yeah, you need to figure out that thing. Okay. So if you are visiting any particular place and we see that there is a different cuisine over there, so how, if you are thinking that whether this food, this cuisine is good for your health or not, how did you identify? If you are visiting any particular country or any particular state, how did you get to know? With the taste only, that's all you get to know. If the food is spicy, the cuisine is spicy, if they have a normal food, the chapati and all if you're looking at the stall, there is one stall only at one particular place, you can try to eat, right? But if you think that, yeah, that food is not tasty, you don't need to force yourself. Yes, so it depends. Some people, they are might be sensitive towards some cuisines also. Yeah, right. Thank you so much, Renu, for answering all the questions. Thank you. Okay. Hi, Bharat. Hello. Can you move your camera a little to your left? Yeah. Is it better now? Yes, better. Hello, Rao. Hello, Bharat. Can you introduce yourself? My name is Bharat, and this is my sign name. So I am working in an airport in a finance department. You're from Bangalore. You're from? Yes, I'm from Bangalore. So I have seen you your Instagram page, and you have been traveling a lot. It seems good, and I see that, yeah, you are traveling to the many places. Now I would like to ask you something. I mean, how did your love for traveling begin? What makes you love traveling a lot? How did it started? So my uncle, so there are 4 or 5 people. When I was 13 years old, we went to zoo, and at the national park, we went to the national park, and I saw that, yeah, I learned a lot about a lot of things over there with the forest and the animals and all. I really liked it, and I thought that, yeah, I would like to go ahead. What was your age that time? I was 13 years old. Okay, after 13 years old, I started traveling, and I'm still traveling. So my uncle, he still travels a lot. So I learned from him only. So you got inspired from your uncle. Yes. So after in getting inspired from your uncle, so you travel. How did you started travel alone? When did you start it? I think it was 3 years before. I went to Jammu Kashmir, and in 2015 I went to Europe. I travel alone. So yeah, there are other people also who helped me for 3 months. So from 2015, from 2015 I went to Europe, and after that I'm traveling alone. So I went to Jammu Kashmir 2 years back. Okay, so how do you feel while traveling alone without having support of any other people? I think it is best with other people also. You get to see the language, and there are challenges also. In Spain, Germany, there are communication issues as well, and along with the group, it becomes easier. So you mean that along with the group, is it better, right? So when I went to Paris, my friend, he picked me up. Yeah, but alone, it was sometimes boring as well. So along with friends, you feel good. Yes, with 1 or 2 people, that is better. So my friend, they picked me up in Paris and also in Germany as well. and they help me out. So I see on WhatsApp and on social media pages of your WhatsApp and Instagram. So how do you, I mean, connect with the local people so quickly? Um, and I see that you can connect with the animals as well. About which place you're talking? So you went to Jammu and Kashmir, and I mean, you get clicked your picture along with the local people. How did you do that? How you can connect easily with the other people? So I mean, how I'm not talking about exchanging your contact numbers, but people who are living, you know, in village areas and all. How did you connect with them easily? So there's a person who there's an institute. Sorry, if you can spell it slowly. So there is also instructor who told me that how we can, I mean, talk, connect with the other people. And so on skateboard, you know, in here in India we don't use it. In Jammu and Kashmir, I asked one person, if you can help me out, I would like to visit Jammu and Kashmir. So in the beginning, it was quite difficult to communicate with the other people. Then it was easier. So I tried to connect with local people as well. I met with the family members also. I tried to wear the clothes as well, what they were wearing in Jammu and Kashmir. So in the beginning, did you feel? I mean, were you nervous? So you know, I'm so interested to see what is their culture, what the language they use, and the cuisines they are having. So it was difficult, and they were having wooden houses. So and also we have a suit also. We have a sleeping bag as well. So we use sleeping bag, and I learned about the different culture over there as well. And we have tea, different teas also that makes us warm, and we have noodles as well. So do you think that connecting with the local people it's important? Yes, it's beneficial. Yes, that will help you, right? Yes, it helps us a lot. So next question I would like to ask you, as you have traveled to the another places and the in foreign countries as well. So which places do you like? I mean, the adventurous place or village area or any other places? Which kind of places you like to visit a lot? So I went to a marriage of my friend. So we went to a museum. We went to the Fort Museum, and I saw there are a lot of places over there. So some people were resting, and they were told us that we need to wear the particular jackets and all. And I have done a adventurous thing also. So we have we have a leech also who, I mean, suck your blood as well. So I tried that as well. And yeah, it took a long time, 2 months and 3 months. I had a spots as well when I did try to do the adventurous part in forest areas. You need to be careful whenever you are visiting in such areas. So you went to the marriage, and you were saying that you went to the museum as well, and you went to forest. What another activity you did? Snorkeling. I did snorkeling. What does it mean? So you have a mask, when you can take a breath inside the sea water. If you can slowly spell out scuba, scuba diving. No, I have not experience of scuba diving. Yes, so I have experienced other things also. In Thailand, yeah, I experienced the activities in Thailand. So you have experienced such activities. Which activity you like the most, or the places you like the most? visiting the forest areas or doing the adventurous activities. So the two things I like a lot, trekking, okay, trekking on mountain, and also the adventurous activities I like a lot. Why? Because you you felt so energetic at that time whenever you are going in the sea water and all waterfalls. And I like to go in the waterfalls. That is that helps us to release our stress. Yeah, these three things I like a lot. And you see the tortoise and the fish and the other water animals too. Seahorse as well, yes. I saw the seahorse as well, but that was quite far away. So in Singapore, I went there as well, and I did the scuba diving. So there are, moreover, the tortoise are there. I saw baby shark as well. Wow, baby shark, the small one, the baby shark. Yes, I went there. So I didn't see the shark mother, but yeah, I saw the baby shark. Other animal, if you have, so in at the base level of the sea, I saw. Have you seen any other animals? Yes, in Thailand, I saw crocodile, elephant as well.
Tiger.
In cheetah also, leopard as well. Yeah, I've seen that while we were going in our jeep, and I saw
Bison and a gore, those big cows, they're huge. They're really, really strong animals. And we were driving in the dark in the forest alone. So why was it alone? Fear? Why were you afraid? Like in the night, an elephant. If you see them, the eyes are they're shining. So there are a lot of animal movement at night. That is great. I just would like to ask the last question. You have so much experience traveling both internationally as well as to various places, but what barriers have you overcome? Can you share any particular incident? Like, yeah, there have been barriers. The deaf camp in Dehradun, which we had, the deaf recent camp. So I was cheated there. I booked an Ola to pick up and drop me at a certain point. The driver dropped me at half the spot, and the person then gave me an excuse. He said there's a lot of traffic. So I said, okay, let me then pay you half. So he said, no, you have to pay full. So they were like, no, you have to get down here. Like, no, I'm not getting down here. I pay you half. Otherwise, the problem was communication. I had to gesture a lot and didn't know English. So I had to call the traffic cops, and we again communicated. That traffic police knew English, and then I had to go with that person. There was a lot of time taken. Finally, the argument, after an hour or so, the person won't listen. And imagine that driver, there were 6, 7 deaf travelers, and we had to walk all the way. So that was one major issue. Okay, so that was one challenge where you had to face something. The other barriers, while travel, you haven't had many barriers as such. Yeah, people, the translation, for example, if I'm going to Spain, you use some kind of translator and gesture, food, bike, rented bikes. The person would point us to the direction, a lot of gestures. And if you have that kind of skill, communication is okay. Like, you think it's okay, I mean, don't feel awkward or so. Like, yeah, no, it's okay. So that's great. I mean, this is wonderful. Thank you so much, Bharat. Thank you. So with this, now we want to open up the floor to mm, the audience members. Any questions they have, they let us know who they want to ask their questions, and we can have the panelist over to answer their question. Hello, Utkarsh. Oh yeah, hi. Have I been spotlighted? What is your question? My question is related to Rahul. All right, Rahul, can you please come online? Can we please spotlight Rahul? If Rahul is here, we can please spotlight him. That's great. Rahul is here. So, yeah, Utkarsh. Hi, Rahul. Hi, hello. So, yeah, you have traveled so much. I heard your stories about your travel to US and UK. And you also talked about the, travel uh, duration, fee, etc. So, for example, I from UK, can we travel to another country? Yes, yes, you can. And I have actually. The plan was a 2-week trip, and we were wanting to travel Europe, especially France. So you have to have the visa, and there, if you want to go UK, you have to have two visas then, not just one. You have to have in India or in Europe, you get the visa. No, see, the fact is when you have a 1 month plan, I want 2 weeks in Europe, and I want 2 weeks in France. So when they see those tickets, you have to then go to the UK visa office and get two visas and put it in your passport. You should also have the duration mentioned. And then when you travel to France, which is 2 week journey, then from there you can go to UK because you already have the visa. Euro in Europe, they give you a 6 month visa. In UK, you can get a 1 year visa, but it's their decision. So I basically had a fixed plan. They check your previous travel experiences, your previous visas, and if you've always, ensured that you have traveled back within the duration, your visa process should be easy, and you get two visas and travel should be okay. Yeah, that's my first question. So in invitation to France is there, but UK is not an invitation, it's personal travel. Is that okay? Like, yeah, you can do that. If you don't have any invitation in UK, you will pay in pounds, right? In India, you have rupee, which is the currency, in UK is pound. The value, all your travel, food, lodging expenses, maybe 1,000 pounds if think. That means 1 lakh in Indian currency, you have to have in your bank account. And actually more than that, which is an important thing for the embassies to say. If you don't have money in your bank, they will not give you the visa. Thank you, thank you. Can we have the other participants? Hello. Hi, my question is to Rahul. Can we have Rahul spotlight, please? Hi. Hi, hello. I wanted to ask, US and Japan So during the visa process, when the application, if that is done, and then you have to get the visa before. I'm sorry, can you clarify the question, please? So for example, if I plan to go to US, do you get the passport? Yeah, the passport. So once you get your passport, you have, I don't have a visa. So you have to give your passport to the uh, required department and get, I don't actually understand the process. Can you explain? Yeah, sure. So the passport is, as an Indian citizen, you have your passport. It says that you are a person, irrespective whether you're deaf or hearing, and you do not have any previous criminal case. If you do, they will not give you a passport. You have committed a crime, and if you have, you can very easily leave the country. That's why uh, you are not given a passport. And during the passport process, there's a police verification as well. So you have to have an Indian passport first. Next, after you get your passport, where do you want to travel? For example, wherever, US, UK, France, Europe, wherever you travel, you have to get your visa before the travel. Like I told you about the platform VFS Global. You can find them online. You can choose which country you want to fly, and then you choose the M. Would that sign, please? It is the sign for embassy. Let me spell that out for you. Yeah, I understand. So you have to check when you go to the website, there'll be various flags of the different nations. Once you click on the place you want to go, you'll be guided, let you know about the different documents. And the forms are right there in the website. You can check, fill the forms. They will ask you to come to the office for your scans. You have to go to the office. Yes, they have different offices. VFS Global has the centers. They will give you the information, maybe Delhi, Chandigarh, Hyderabad, wherever you are, VFS Global, if you apply to that platform. Where you apply online, there'll be some documents required, like all your hotel, flight, stay documents in PDF format. Once you send that, they will check. If everything is well, you get your visa. And you can get your passport back, and within 2 weeks, they send you your visa. So we have to take all our documents, etc., and in a week they send us the visa. Like, yes, that is true. So you have to book the flight before or after? You have to book the flight before. Your flight, your hotel, your stay, all these proofs are required before. Don't think that you get your visa and then do these processes. You have to do all of this beforehand. Thank you. I'm sorry, there's one request. There are a lot of people, they have a lot of questions. We request you to please limit to only one question per person. We'll have the next person now. Next question, please. Who has the next question? Hi, hello, your question is to? My question is to Rahul. Same, everybody has a question to Rahul. And I also want to ask a question to the lady. I'm sorry, you have just one question, so you need to choose. No problem, I'll choose Rahul. So, hi Rahul, hello. I have a question. So the states like, the visa offices, what is the sign for visa? So this is passport visa. So there are some places, they don't give visas because no marriage, no job, no homes, etc. These are the kind of requirements. Yeah. Did you miss those points? Is it? Can you explain that? See, yeah, if you don't have marriage, if you don't have a job, if you don't have a home, there are these other options also. If you have the invitation letter, if you know wherever you are traveling there, it's an all expenses paid trip. If there is a some kind of an institute, they are taking care of all your travel, then you don't have to do anything. It's their responsibility, and then your visa is accepted. So, but if you know there's no invitation, these three things should be there, right? Marriage, home. So it depends. Do you want to, you know, go on a tourist visa? They will ask you how much money do you have. If you don't have a job, how would you travel? What is the proof? See, I think the one reason while I'm talking is if you want to move, you know, they think that they don't want people to move and migrate to one country. Yeah, that's true because there have been many people who have, you know, are staying there without proper documentation. But yeah, you have to follow the process. But if you have relatives staying in a place, you already have citizenship and PR. Yeah, we're just discussing the sign for citizenship. For example, if I'm Indian, I have the Aadhaar, right? I'm called an Indian, so citizenship. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I was saying, if you have, you know, an uh, an invite from a relative who's someone else, so that is easy. Thank you. I would just like to add one more. I'm sorry, can you limit to one question, please? Sorry, there are other people also. Possibly we'll take your question afterwards, or you can connect with Rahul and talk to him directly. Can we have the next question? Hi, your question is two. Can I ask two questions? They're very short. Can I ask two questions? I'm sorry, just one. I'm sorry, you know, we want to be, um, you know, that should not be unfair to others. There's just one question. Okay, the question is to Rahul. Oh, Rahul again. Okay, can we have Rahul on spotlight, please? Hi, Rahul. Hello. Yeah, tell me. How are you? I'm good. I think you mentioned about your travel to Calicut University, and you was like they were strong, you know, very conscious, and they wanted to use ASL only in that campus, irrespective of you know wherever we are. If we are connecting with a person from a different country, what should we use? You know, should we use our language, or how should we communicate? Yeah, that's a good question. I think, you know, when you're communicating with people from other countries, maybe we should try to science international or make it as visual. So I think yes, you can try that, or use Indian Sign Language with some, borrowing something from ASL. But if you learn international science, which is very visual, it makes very easy. But then again, you know, your preference, how you communicate with that person, ASL or howsoever, depends on you. I understand that international is, helpful, but then, as you said that, you know, in there, they do not want to use any other language. They use ASL only. I was like, no, I don't think they would be that strict. Or, I mean, I think they should be. It's okay. Like, no, I don't mean, I'm sorry, the screen is freezing a little. Can you please repeat the question? So for example, if I know, international, if I know ASL also, if I give an example, for example, Russia, it's a very different kind of signing, their kind of language. Can we use internet? I mean, how do we communicate if they don't know even international sign? So I think it depends, if you're communicating, if you have friends, Facebook friends, and there's no clear communication, you're struggling, maybe you can take some time, text with them, maybe they can accommodate and learn ISL, or maybe you can pick up Russian quickly, Russian sign language also. But see, the thing is, it is acceptance as well as learning. It's both side learning, it is an exchange actually. And that's how communication actually becomes easier. And I think it should work like that. I do not want to comment, because if both parties are strict, your communication, you should be open to listening and respecting the other person. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing, Rahul.
So now we are running out of time and we won't be able to take more questions. So sorry. Uh, so now we would be closing the session soon. We we have sent the feedback form link on the chat box. We have stopped the recording. Thank you, participants, for viewing our session and attending the panel discussion. Thank you, all the panelists. So we would be having a second panel again. It's on February. We are planning that. If you would like to have this session again, we will be having it